Hello and welcome to Lifetime Uncorked, the podcast where we discuss your favorite made-for-TV movies. Whether you love to hate watch or hate yourself for loving them, pour up a glass of your favorite cocktail and join us. I am your host, Patrick Serrano, and my guests today are...
I am Drew Current.
Hi, I'm Casey Alltop.
Hi, Casey Alltop.
Hi,
Casey
Drew and
is
Patrick.
back.
It's
How are
good
you?
It feels good to be here. Thank you for having me, and thank you for blessing me with this movie.
Oh my God, yeah. Well, you know, when I was looking through the movies of Lifetime, I tried to assign them to the people
Yeah.
who they pair well with.
Yeah.
And I was like, who's Chicago's mob daughter? And I was like, Casey.
Casey freaking Alltop, that's who.
Right? I'm like, you know, no other badass woman in Chicago would suffice. Had to get the number uno. What is it? Premio uno?
Numero?
I'm trying to speak mob. Is that how I do it?
Yeah.
Premium
Premium
Unos.
Premium fucking Uno, huh?
That's what they say in The Godfather, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
think so.
Clearly
Is
not.
that how they talk in this movie?
Yes, they do.
I mean, they have a real thick New York
They
accent.
got
Yeah.
some fucking egg.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, Victoria.
Oh boy, it's true. We'll get to it.
Okay, sorry. I'm ahead of myself.
So yes, so today the movie we are talking about is Victoria Gotti,
Colin.
My Father's Daughter, based on the book written by Victoria Gotti. Also, this movie is produced by Victoria Gotti. Also, she gets a writing credit by Victoria Gotti.
Well, yeah.
And guess what? She's in it.
Yeah, she plays herself.
The actual...
No, I'm kidding. We'll get to it, True,
Okay.
but she's actually in the movie.
Oh.
And it's not a cameo. I know what you're thinking, like director cameo.
No.
It's not a cameo. It's done in a very interesting way
Okay.
that we'll talk about.
Okay.
Interesting.
And I think you're going to be surprised.
Okay, I'm in it. I'm in it to win it.
So, we're going to jump right in.
Was that a mob saying? In it to win
I'm in it to win it, Tony.
That is a mob saying. I've heard that one. You know. Okay, so we start with Victoria Gotti. She's going into a club. She has her blonde hair that we know and I don't know, kind of 90s, 80s styled outfit.
Yeah, it's early 90s, it looks like, right? At the top.
Yes, and this rude ass reporter is like, "Excuse me, Victoria." Well, that was nice when I just said, "Excuse me." She's just like, "Is your dad dead or what's happening? Is he not doing well?" And Victoria's like, "My dad's a tiger and he's gonna eat all the people.
Yeah.
He'll never die."
A tiger is still a tiger, even when he's in a cage.
Yes. That's what she says.
They have a lot of catchphrases.
Yeah.
They substitute them for real emotion.
I think it might have
Yeah.
been lion, but a tiger is more scary.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's scarier.
A ferret is still a ferret, even in a cage.
Yeah. You could substitute any animal in a mob lingo, it works.
Yeah.
Okay. So just know that. So then we just she comes home from the club and she hugs her 3 boys. She has 3 little kids.
Okay.
And her husband, Carmine, is in his little day goatee. Is that racist if I say that?
Yes, extremely, but I'd stick with it.
I mean, you just say wife beater. Right?
Well, I didn't want to say white beater.
Way better.
I didn't want to say white beater because that's not appropriate either. But it's
Right.
Sleeveless white tank top.
it's a white tank top.
and you
Yeah.
say that and everyone goes, "Oh, you mean a wife beater?"
Oh, you mean a wife beater? You
Oh,
mean a
boy.
dago?
You're talking about
Well,
a goatee?
basically, those are all derogatory terms, but that's what he's wearing.
Okay.
And he's like, "Good night." She's like, "Good night." I don't know what happens here.
Yeah,
but
this was pointless, really.
the next thing we see is them waking up in the morning and the feds are on the lawn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And Victoria Gotti's on the phone with her dad, and he's like, "I actually am dying."
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And then we get a cut. You'd think, Drew, what do you think's going to be cut next?
Oh, man.
What do you get to guess?
Where it goes from there?
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm gonna guess it cuts to present day.
okay.
No.
Okay.
That's nice.
Good guess.
Okay.
It cuts to.
Oh, man.
I'll let you.
Oh,
you
thank
tell
you.
us.
Space.
So, I will say, post-civilization.
The future.
And, the acting isn't horrible at this point. It's
No.
just happening. And then all of a sudden this voiceover starts before it cuts. And it's and that is when I found out that my father was dying. And I'm like, what is this horrible narration? And then they cut to the one and only Victoria Gotti.
Wow.
Yes.
Sitting in the interview style, properly
2020.
lit, plain background on her chair. Nothing on this woman's body is real.
No.
Nothing. Her hair, even her eyeballs. I'm like, that is not the color of your eyes.
Right.
So it's a robot. So it is in the future.
It is the future. You're right.
She's had
The
so much
future.
plastic surgery. I haven't watched any of her shows. I'll just throw that out there now.
Right.
Growing Up Gotti or
I mean, who has seen her in a long time? I haven't.
Oh, yeah.
Did
I
she
haven't.
not look like that when she was on?
She looked pretty much the same. More tan. I think she's laid off the tanning bed.
Okay, well, good for her. And it is her, and she's narrating, and I gasped.
It was shocking. Shocking.
Lord.
I literally was like, oh.
Is she just because?
Well, because
Like
she's the
how-
producer and this is what she's doing. So
Yeah.
she continues and she's like, I'm Victoria Gotti and this is my story of my father and me.
Yeah.
My accent is like killer today.
It's pretty
On
great.
point.
And it was, can I go ahead and give the spoiler that this continues throughout the entire
Yes.
movie, that it keeps cutting back to her and we hear from her and get her added opinion on it just to be like, no, this is real, I swear to God. But
So what you're saying is this is like it's
kinda
a
like a
it's a documentary with Lifetime doing the reenactment.
Here's the best way
kind
to
of, but no,
explain
it's the opposite. It's a Lifetime movie where she just fucking
ruins it.
It's
just record stop.
you know in Rescue 911
Uh-huh.
when the people you're watching the reenactments happen
Yeah, yeah.
and the person's talking about it. It's the opposite.
So okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah.
So, it's
So
her
the
being like-
reenactments are happening and then she talks about
And
it.
then she
and then
talks
she's like,
about
"That's
it.
when my father. That's when my father told me he was sick." Yeah, I know.
We
That just happened.
We just saw that.
We just saw that.
And we're
Yeah.
going to see it again later. It was insane. And
This
for
is
some
awesome.
reason, I was in this place of denial where I was like, that'll be the only time we see her. I'm sure of it. And then she comes back again. I'm like, okay, just a couple times before this is the cold open. So we'll just see her here and then we'll have the credits and then
Right.
she'll go away. And even we were halfway through this movie and I'm like, that's got to be the last time? No.
No.
She gets the button at the end.
She gets
she
the
gets
what?
she gets everything.
Yeah.
It's everything.
But this is a Lifetime Presents, because then it's like Lifetime Presents Victoria Gotti, my father, my daughter, or whatever the hell I said the title was.
My father is
My
my
fa-
daughter. My mother.
My father's daughter. She refers to herself as that a lot.
She
I
does.
am my father's daughter.
Okay.
Oh boy.
That is
So-
a true fact.
Yeah,
I guess.
true.
so am I.
So now we go back in time, like you predicted, Drew, which is what would normally happen in a Lifetime movie.
Yeah.
We cut to 1969. Okay, great year. For many reasons.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know any reasons why 1969.
The
is a
number
good year.
69.
Landed
But-
on the moon.
There you go.
Coming into space.
Oh, yeah,
Coming-
Buzz. Was
So both of your predictions were correct, Drew. Both of them. So Victoria and her siblings go to visit John Gotti. He is played by very notable Sonny from General Hospital.
absolutely.
Okay.
Maurice Bernard is his real name, but
Okay.
everyone just knows him as Sonny. He has daytime Emmys galore.
Yeah, he's been Sunny for 40 years or something, right?
Speaking of plastic surgery, he looks the same.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
And they didn't age the parents throughout this entire movie. It's
Right.
like you don't. Okay, fine.
I mean, I think if you get onto a soap opera,
They pay for your Botox.
I think it's just there's some kind of magic that happens where you just locked in, right? You're just locked into that.
This is it.
Right. So they're visiting the dad or whatever his name is, and Butch Gotti is the wife. Okay, Butch is her name, which I was like, this is a weird.
I looked it up. Her name's actually Victoria as well, but
Okay.
they call her Butch. Yeah.
To keep it not confusing for us
Yeah.
viewers.
Right.
That's great.
Okay.
So, or no, actually, she's not visiting her dad. Sorry, I jumped a whole year.
Well, first we see her being born.
1962.
62. She's born. That is takes a hot
It
second.
takes
and
2
it's stupid.
seconds.
Who cares?
And Victoria's like, my father stole me from a hospital because he couldn't pay the bill.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
sums that up. So now we're in
So she's
1969.
going, I was born at some point in time.
Yeah.
I'm Victoria Gotti.
I'm Victoria Gotti. My father. I'm losing it now.
I'm my daughter's father. I'm my daughter's father.
I don't know. Oh boy. So yeah, they're visiting John Gotti in jail, and Victoria seems like nothing's really out of place with that. She goes to school and she's like, my dad works in construction. He lives in a really big building that's made of concrete, and he built it all himself.
Yeah. Because her mom keeps telling her that. She's like, we're visiting daddy at work. while he's in fucking prison. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then one of the little kids is like, your dad's a jailbird.
And she's like, what?
She's like, he is not, but what is that?
Yeah. It's real stupid.
Yeah. And so she,
A jailbird.
yeah.
I love it.
And the mom's like, don't worry about what the kids say. We're just going to scrape by. They're on like food stamps and like everything. They're like very poor. Okay. And John is like, you know, when I get out of jail, things are going to be different this
Yeah.
time. That's like what he says.
Yeah.
And when he gets out of jail, things do get different because he beats the shit. And they say shit in this movie a lot. So I can say it on the podcast. So he beats the shit out of this little kid in the neighborhood for like picking on one of his kids.
Oh, yeah.
But like, I mean, like the kid is like down on the ground and he's still like going.
Yeah. Like there was a moment where I was like, is he killing this child?
Right.
But he's like, just beats him to a pulp.
Yeah.
And I was excited because I was like, oh, good. We're going to see the real John Gotti and like all the dirt behind the scenes, you know?
Which is exactly one of the fucking problems. You watch a mob movie because you want to see mob shit.
Yeah.
And this is like if they accidentally made a movie and they're like, oops, we accidentally filmed this like crazy tertiary character instead of the main characters. Like,
Yes.
you know what I mean? Like,
Oh.
it's this mob movie, but then it was like Sopranos, but then we accidentally just follow Meadow around.
Ugh.
And we never see any mob shit, and we just like see Meadow go to school and,
Yeah,
and have
and dating
boyfriends
some
and
boys.
stuff.
No.
And I know that was like a subplot, but make that now the main plot and basically only plot. You'd be like, wait, no, where's he going? Who's he talking to? I want to see the mob stuff.
I want to see the mob stuff.
Well-
Well, how does he get all that money? Ah!
For the Lifetime viewers, though, I'd probably follow Jamie Lynn Siegler. You know?
Whom
And be like,
I've had dinner with.
you have? Mm-hmm. Oh, well, there you go. She's a friend of the podcast.
She liked ketchup on her Caesar salad.
Oh, okay. That's weird.
What?
But no, I'm saying most of the Lifetime viewers would probably want to follow the teenage daughter and not the
Yeah.
dad. The dad. So, yeah. The neighborhood is like, you know, not the best because they're obviously in like a bad neighborhood. And John Gotti is like back working for the mob. He's like never home. He like is there just to eat and sleep. And Butch, the wife, is like, I've had it. I'm done with this. He like comes home and he's like, where's my dinner? And she's like, okay, I'm cooking it literally right now.
Yeah.
And
She gives him nothing, which is pretty hilarious. She's like, I'm cooking it.
yeah, like, what do you want? They get into a fight. She throws like a meat like skewer at him.
Oh, yeah.
And it like sticks in his shoulder.
Yeah.
What?
And I was like, oh, she's dead. She's
fucking
dead.
dead. Yeah.
But no, she's not dead. It's just to set up that Victoria is getting very stressed out about her family situation. And
of
bad
she has
things happen.
childhood anxiety.
And apparently the other kids don't give a shit.
No, they don't.
Okay.
Are they older? Or like her older?
She's
siblings?
the
Like,
eldest.
yeah.
Oh, she's the
She has like little ones, but she's like, I have childhood anxiety. This is Victoria again. I have childhood anxiety, and my father told me to go to the psychologist, and he was like, hell no.
Hell no. No daughter of mine is going to psychologist. Her face is just like freezing as she's talking. She's like, where's my Botox? Hurry.
She just can't. Yeah.
And I love Botox,
yeah.
but yeah. It's
But
like everything.
it isn't just about Botox for her. She has like these gigantic cheekbone implants.
Right.
And the weird part is everything is done except her teeth. I'm like, that's the easiest thing to fix, lady. Go get your teeth did.
Get some veneers.
Get them teeth dids.
So yeah, so now we're going to 1974. They move up in the world, like they move into like the suburbs
Yeah.
of New Jersey or
I don't know.
New
They name a
York, or-
town like we're supposed to know it. I'm like,
right.
whatever, great.
All those New York people think we should know all their towns.
I don't know.
We don't.
There's so many.
Don't at me, New York.
All of that is one place to me.
Yeah. So they have a place with a yard now. Great. Good job.
Yes, but things don't really get better because John Gotti is like hiding out in a motel, and they still have to like go visit him in the motel.
And it's a long drive, but they have cherry Coke.
There you go.
So he's. Why is he hiding in a hotel?
Doesn't
Because
specify.
he's not good. Yeah, we don't know.
Oh.
I mean, mob stuff that we don't get to
We're
see.
again,
Oh,
we're
okay.
just getting the teenage daughter's perspective. So as far as she knows, her dad is like still building prisons.
Yeah.
You know, he's still a
Staying in a
construction
shady
worker.
ass motel.
Yes. And then Victoria Gotti, the real woman, her voiceover is like, okay, well, my dad was or she's like, my father was in the hotel because his friend ratted him out and he got in jail for 4 years.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
So you're like, okay.
You're like, thank you.
And if you were
Thank you.
familiar with the case, then I guess you would know who
Yeah.
that was and what that was. Because I did some research on some of the stuff later.
Yeah.
But
I was
wasn't-
wondering that too because I'm not. I mean, I know who John Gotti is. I know who Victoria Gotti is, and that's where my knowledge ends. So it's like maybe you need a little background, or maybe you need to make a movie where you don't need a narrator because you're actually filling in the blanks in the movie.
Yes, with like, scenes and
With
like
scenes that have
writing.
actors in it
Dialogue.
and dialogue.
So we flash forward to 1977 now. We're just like jumping through time. And Victoria Gotti is all grown up now, okay? And John Gotti is out of jail now. It's 4 years later.
Okay.
They make a lasagna as you do when you're an Italian family.
Yep. She's got a bad wig, real bad wig.
The wigs in this movie were very bad again. Lifetime needs a new wig specialist.
Also, did they like cut to 19 or did they jump to 1977 twice, or was I crazy?
I think the years got mixed up, and
Yeah.
I was like, I don't really want to rewind and look at the years,
No.
so I'm just gonna write down what I think it's.
I'm pretty sure it like was like 1977, and then like 4 or 5 scenes later, it was like 1977. Like, yep, nope, I'm with you. We're
Yep.
still there.
No, you
Okay,
should
remember.
You should have covered that when we were in 1977.
We got that.
Again.
The best would have been if every time Victoria Gotti came on, they said 2019.
Yes, that would have
2019.
been great. Or it was like 2024. Like, whoa.
Well, we are in the future. But, Victoria is mad that she's John Gotti's daughter because there's a lot of stigma that comes with that now that he's like famous for mob things, and she can't like date any boys because they're all scared of her
Yeah.
and her dad. And she goes to take a driving test, and
Yeah.
the driving instructor is like, "Oh, hello, let me just," or she like starts the car. He's like, "I will tell you when to start. I'm the driving instructor." And then he looks and he's like, "Victoria Gotti, drive however you want. Drive however you want, girl."
Yes, his reaction is priceless. But also, just like, I wish people didn't treat me like that. It's like, well, then why didn't you like practice driving before you're driving?
Right. She's like, "Should I parallel park?"
You
and
knew.
he's like, No.
No.
You pass."
You got it.
But you couldn't drive, bitch.
She couldn't drive. And she still doesn't drive to this day.
Oh, fun fact.
Just kidding. I don't know. Allegedly.
I was really impressed.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
From a rumor I started
It's just a joke.
now.
So we meet Carmine, young Carmine now. So he looks exactly the same as old Carmine.
Yeah.
Just so you know. He's just not wearing the racist tank top that I can't talk about.
Yeah,
Okay.
right.
Yeah.
The problem,
You know, the
the
wife
problematic,
beater, Drew?
the
The wife
problematic tank top.
Yeah.
The thing you wear when you beat your wife.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Okay.
One of
Yes,
those.
that. Domestic violence is not a joke. If you need help, contact Rain. Okay.
Thank you.
Good.
Yes. So. Right. But Carmine is like, "I know who your father is. I'm not afraid of him, and I'm gonna date you." And she's like, "Okay.
Yeah.
All right." She's
Seems
into
like a
it.
nice little guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And of course, John Gotti shows up, and he's like, "Not happening."
He's like,
Shuts
uh-uh.
it down. He's like, "Do not touch my daughter."
This little weasel, I don't know what he said, but he's basically
Street
like, he's
punk.
not good
He
enough
keeps
for
calling
you.
him a
Yeah,
street
he's a
punk.
street punk. He's not good enough for you. You need a better guy.
Yeah. And Victoria Gotti's like, "But he reminds me of you, Pop."
Yeah, she's
And-
got
Is that-
some. This should be Victoria Gotti : daddy issues.
Daddy issues.
But that's like precisely why John Gotti doesn't like Carmine, because he kind of reminds him of him.
Yeah, and he's like, I don't
kinda-
want you to
he's like,
date me.
"I'm a shady character. This guy's a shady character. It's not going to work out."
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
So to get Victoria over Carmine, John Gotti takes her to a groovy club, because
Oh,
don't forget
yeah.
it's the 70s.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
There's a
Private
disco
club.
ball.
But daddy, I'm not 21 yet. But you're with me.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
is weird. They like drink together. Andy Warhol's there.
There's like 3 or 4 times where you're like,
Oh,
they're on a
yes.
date right now.
yeah.
And at this club, like some gangstery dudes are there, and he goes to talk to him, and you're like, "Here, finally, give me some of
The
that
mob
gangsta mob
stuff.
stuff." And literally, they play the music over, so their conversation is just like lip.
Yeah,
service.
but if we
And
could
you're
hear
like,
it, it would be Premio Uno Numero.
they'd be like,
You know?
"Premium uno, number 1K, all right, bye."
Bye.
Right? Mob talk.
Adios
Yeah.
as well.
Mob talk. It's all
Sayonara,
it's
ciao.
all gobbledygook.
Yeah.
We don't know what they're saying.
You want to swim with the lions?
You want to swim with the lions? Because all that can happen.
Because I can't. I got a cage full of fishes.
Yes.
You gotta-
But basically, what John Gotti tells her is like to date a gentleman and not Carmine. That's his point. He's
Yeah.
like, if
Yeah.
you want someone to take you out like this, It can't be me every time because that gets weird. But find a nice man. who
Find
will
a
take
nice
you.
guy right now here in
Yeah.
the club.
And she's like 16.
Any
Like,
of them.
Who cares? Okay.
Yes. So 1979 now, Victoria can't quit Carmine, so he proposes to her in his car outside because he's not allowed to go inside the house or be seen with her in public.
Yeah.
And she's like, yes, yes. But then the police show up and they're like, get out of the car. And she's like, what's going on? And Carmine has a gun.
What?
And she's like, why do you have a gun? They arrest him.
Yeah.
It totally ruins the mood.
And she's like,
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. Anyways.
What?
Yeah, Victoria Gotti, like the person, is like, Carmine had a gun, but no ring.
He never explained it.
He never explained it.
But he was a good
didn't.
guy, I thought. It's like, you clearly helped write this movie because you're painting yourself as such an innocent woman, and now you're sitting here dripping with diamonds and artificial body parts, being like,
Yes.
I didn't know.
I didn't know the whole time.
But she's like realizing that maybe Carmine has a shady side, you know? She's like, something's not right. But she's still into him, of course. And Carmine gets like beat up because of like whatever is happening. But John Gotti's not involved.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
And she makes it very clear to everyone
Yes, there was no connection.
that there was no connection.
She makes it a little
Okay.
too clear.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the actress in the movie's like, Dad, did you do it? And the dad's like, I would never. And then Victoria comes and she's like, he really would never.
Yeah.
Ever. Not my father.
Not my father. I'm my father's daughter.
I'm my father's
I mean,
mother.
I'm my
Wait,
daughter. I'm my father.
It's a confusing title.
Shoot.
I'm my father's mother.
Okay, Drew,
Graham-
this is when we need you to
I'm
get
my
very
colon's
serious.
father.
Okay,
You
okay.
need to get very serious.
This is not
very
good.
serious.
Okay.
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 So Frankie is Victoria's little brother, the littlest brother.
The littlest guy.
and
Gotcha.
he rides his bike in the neighborhood, as one does.
Okay.
And the neighbor hits Frankie with his car and kills him. Okay?
Shit.
Kills him.
Kills him
no.
dead. And Victoria is like babysitting him or something, and she's like, Ma, he's outside. Like, what's the big deal? And the mom, Butch, is like, he's dead.
And she just goes into hysterics. Obviously.
She falls on the floor, hysterical.
I teared up a
Yeah.
little at this point. As a
I
mother.
thought the actress did a really good job.
Yeah,
I
I was
wrote
a
down
little
her
bit-
name.
a little bit of a mess. Yeah, she had told Frankie to come in for dinner. She was like in her friend's car or whatever, and they drove by, and she's like, come in for dinner. And then they drove away, and he's like, "Rah." And then you're like, he's clearly about to get hit by a car.
Yes.
Like, because why else is this happening?
Yeah.
And then he does.
Anytime a kid is
Well, and it's
on a
like the
bike,
kid's riding a
it
bike, and you hear like a
freaks
heart pounding. It's like,
Yeah,
boom,
yeah.
boom,
Du- du-
boom,
du-
boom.
du-
okay.
du-
You know?
And it's like kept going slow motion and all these weird angles. like,
kids
through windows
laughing.
and stuff. And
Yeah, very creepy.
Okay.
He's like,
So-
oh, so he's going to die now?
So he's gonna die.
Rhonda Dent is the actress, so props to you, Rhonda
Good job,
Dent. 'cause
Rhonda.
She like pivots from like angry mob wife to like
Just blubbering.
the
Shell of a woman.
Yeah.
the person, like the actual person, Butch Gotti, like went insane after this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the actress had to like pivot, like really hard pivot, and then like she did a good job.
Yeah.
Just lost it. Yeah.
Like, she did a good job.
But actually, all the actors in this movie did a good job. If
I
it
think
was
so,
just
too.
the movie, it would have been great.
I
Yeah.
loved the chick that played Victoria. Yeah. She
Yeah,
was great.
me
She was
too.
real pretty.
She was good. So the voiceover tells us that her brother was hit by a car. We don't actually see the car or anything, you know?
No.
Okay.
Okay. So
Uh,
it was just the scene of like, this is the last time you're gonna see this
And
kid.
yeah,
Right,
then we
yeah.
cut to the funeral from there. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And Victoria also tells Victoria Gotti, the 2019 version, tells us that her mom tried to commit suicide like 3 times after that.
Yeah.
And basically, Victoria is like head of the household now. She's doing the cooking, raising the
Taking
kids.
care of my brothers and sisters. Which, when after doing a little Wikipedia searching, find out that there is a 5th sibling that they just didn't do in the movie. Like another sibling is born, and I don't know about the timeline part if he's born before or after Frankie dies, but like they don't show him ever, right?
No.
We only see.
Was it like a
Vic-
sibling that didn't want to be a part of any of-
Probably.
But
like, don't fucking.
But like, if we're just
No.
making, yeah, I guess. Can you say don't make a a version of me in your movie?
Yeah, they're
I don't
like,
know.
"You
Maybe.
can."
I'll sue you.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, like
Yeah.
if they're, if
Maybe he did because it's Victoria, it's her sister Angel, and then this brother who's like hot as hell, and then Frankie who dies. But like you don't see this fifth dude. I don't know.
There you go.
yeah, he probably just didn't want to be
Right.
involved.
He's
in
like
any
Vicky.
of
I
this
said
shit.
no.
Vicky.
Which, why wouldn't you want to be in a Lifetime movie? Hello.
Yeah,
Hello.
totally.
Get with it. So Carmine shows up at the funeral and pays his respects to John Gotti, and John Gotti like shakes his hand. Like they've mended whatever is going on.
Okay.
But the neighbor is like not having any remorse. Okay.
No,
the one
he's
who-
having a goddamn party.
He's having a party. The one that hit the
The
kid.
one that hit the kid.
He didn't move because everyone's like, why didn't he move? Because he hit the mob boss's kid.
Yes, he
He
did.
should probably move.
And he's
should
having a
go-
like barbecue.
You should disappear. Not move. You need to disappear.
But
Yes.
like, I know this is the 80s, but it's also like that's modern times, people. That's only 35 years ago or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, were the cops not involved in this hit and run murder of a minor?
Right.
Was it a hit and run?
Well, I don't know if it was a hit and run. We never saw it.
Yeah,
but-
like you're just sitting there wondering, like, what happened when he hit this kid? And then, like, oh, he drinks a lot. Okay, so was it a drunk driving?
even worse. But
Murder
it
of
was
a
the
minor?
80s. Who cares? E.T. was happening.
manslaughter.
You know?
It's like, what the fuck? Like, there's so much stuff that is like, I was alive in the 80s, and I gotta check with my mom, but I'm pretty sure this is not how this shit went down.
Right. Well, I only rollerbladed. So,
Yeah.
Everywhere.
so, yeah.
okay.
Out the womb.
But no, Butch is also with us. She's like, I'm not having this. She grabs her bat. She goes and like beats the shit out of his windshield to his car because he parks in front of their house. She's like, you're going to park the murder weapon to my son in front of my house?
It's pretty badass.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't think so. Beats the shit out of that. And then she's like going to beat the shit out of him. But Vittoria Gotti like pulls him away.
Okay.
And he's like, you're a crazy bitch.
It's like, you murdered the kid.
You
What the
killed
fuck?
you killed my fucking kid, dude.
Famous last words, though, because you said he should just disappear. Well, he fucking
Oh,
does.
he
Sure
fucking
did.
does.
He
Oh,
disappears.
I
John
guarantee it.
John Favreau is his name, and he is disappeared, never been found.
Oh
Not
yeah.
to be confused with John Favreau.
Not the director.
No, not the actor-director.
Actor director.
Yeah, he's totally
Reappeared in Swingers.
right.
Reappeared in Swingers.
So
then
weird
directed,
how that works.
Yeah, he's gone
then
Felicia.
directed Iron Man. Yeah.
Yes. So, but then the cops come back and ask. I love when they come and ask Butch about him. She's like, I don't give a fuck where he is.
Yes.
And I mean, clearly she doesn't know. I mean, she knows.
She knows.
But no one told her.
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And that's it.
No, that guy's
No more questions.
that guy's done.
Yep.
Yep.
So
That guy's not. He's missed in the air now.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So Carmine also is done like hiding.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be invisible. He doesn't want to be missed.
No, he doesn't want to be missed.
And he goes to John Gotti's office, his mob office, which looks like an office.
Yeah, it
and
looks
like
Like a nice office.
what's that show with the business people?
Office.
The Office.
The Office. That's it. That's not what I was thinking.
It's like
Mad
a
Men?
nice
Mad Men,
office.
Mad Men.
Yes, yes.
Yes, I was thinking Mad Men, but The Office also works.
Right.
And he asked for Victoria Gotti's hand in marriage.
Can I just say John Gotti's face when the door opens? They're like, "Hey, kid, he's in there waiting for you. If you want to talk to him, you're dumb." And then this door swings open, and there's Sonny, as I will call him,
Yes.
sitting there, and the look on his face is so intense, and he's just staring towards him to the point where it's like, were you just sitting there frozen, staring at the door in anger until it opened? Just be like, I'll be like this when he sees me. Yeah, I like this one. I like this pose. It is intense. You're literally like, whoa, oh God,
Oh,
okay.
jeez.
What else do mob bosses do?
I
you
guess
know?
sit
you just-
around
that's
and
what
make
you do.
faces.
Sit
Yeah.
there and you try to.
Can't get Botox when you're a mob boss. You got to look mad.
No, you gotta look mad.
Or you freeze your face to look mad.
Yes.
Because they can do that.
Yeah.
That's what Victoria did to her
This-
face, apparently.
Specifically.
Where's that shit in time?
So John Gotti, of course, agrees because we know they get married, but he has rules. He's like, Victoria must finish college, and he should treat her like a gentleman. Both of those rules get broken,
Yes.
Okay.
just so you're aware.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
And then Victoria just immediately starts feeling terrible, and apparently she has to get a hysterectomy.
Yes, they want her to get a hysterectomy. She doesn't,
Right.
obviously. But at
At
first,
what age?
she's
She's
25.
like- yeah.
25, but she's having like all of these stomach problems, like internal
okay.
problems. At first, they call it female hysteria, which I'm also like, slow down one more time. Isn't it like 1980 something
Right.
or 1990 now?
Oh, yeah.
Female hysteria. That's what they called that shit in the 20s. Like,
Right.
a cop should arrest drunk drivers that hit kids, and
Yes.
female hysteria is not a thing. Like,
Where
Victoria.
it's like what?
Again,
making this up?
you know, E.T. was really big that year.
Yeah,
so
E.T.
everybody was
was
talking about
huge.
Drew Barrymore.
Everyone's focused on Reese's Pieces.
Yes. No, so is this when the wedding happens? Yes, the wedding happens now, and we get the actual footage of the wedding.
Yes, which is fun.
Okay.
But they never show Victoria's face. Did you notice that?
I did notice.
But they
showed
do
the
show
dress.
John's face. So it's like, oh, they're not going to show their faces because you don't want to like take away from the actors, even though we're seeing Victoria every fucking 10 minutes anyway.
Right.
But I think she's like, don't show my face because I know it looks nothing like it looks right now.
I
Yeah.
wanted to like look up young Victoria Gotti to just
I
see.
did. I saw some pictures and she was fine. She's not as pretty as the actress, but you know, that's how it
I
always
mean,
is
that's
in those movies.
always the
Yeah.
case.
Yeah.
Anybody.
Something else that I noticed that's like
Anyone.
very consistent in the Lifetime movies, like the bad wigs or the prettier actors, is when they answer the phone, the pause before they speak while the person's talking to them on the phone is always way too long.
Oh,
Oh, really? Because my pet peeve is when it's too quick.
Oh, okay. I mean, I wouldn't like
And
that either, but
where
this
it's
is
just like, hello? What?
yeah, this is so boring. Like, I won't even do the amount of time because it would just make this podcast. But she just picks up the phone, she's like, hello, and then it's just like 2 minutes of silence, and then she's like, well, is he okay? I'm like, well, he was talking for 2 minutes, so I'm pretty sure you know
Yes.
all of the details.
well, and you know, Lifetime's very
So there's a
serious
balance.
about their acting and their writing. They wrote a whole monologue for an actor to say over the phone. You know,
Yeah.
that's what they do.
Oh, okay.
They
So
want
some
the actors
actor
to
we
be-
never see.
Really be in the moment.
Yeah, great. That's great.
Yes. It's like if I directed a Lifetime movie.
Yes.
You know, I'm like, I know nothing about film. I'm just going to be like, okay, so we're going to have a whole phone conversation.
just-
We're not going to hear the other end.
No.
But just, I
Longer.
really want to just be focused on your face.
Yeah.
And
but
'cause-
don't react too
and-
much.
Right.
Just stare into space.
Let the camera do the work.
Thank you.
Let the audience read between
Don't worry,
lines.
guys. We're gonna let the cameras
Let
do
the
work.
audience figure out what's going on.
So the wedding happens. It's the biggest thing since Charles and Diana. Timely reference.
Self-proclaimed.
Okay.
Yeah, self-proclaimed. Because I was like,
Oh. Yeah. Well, I mean,
I'm sure it was all over the news and stuff.
in New
but-
York. And they go on their honeymoon next to Vegas, baby. Vegas, baby.
And she says the 2019 version says, and it's so funny because I don't think she means to be funny, but it's such a hilarious line. She says, on my honeymoon, I was nervous because I had never slept away from my parents' house before.
Yes.
I'm like, she's never slept with just away from
just
your
away from
parents'
your.
house.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot. You never went on a vacation?
You're 25 years old
And,
and,
like,
you've
you
never
never-
not slept at your
Never had a
parents' house?
sleepover?
Yeah, you never had like a friend sleepover jam?
I don't
Wow.
It must be tough to be wait, what is it? The daughter of my father's daughter.
My daughter of my father's daughter's mother's brother's.
It must be tough to be my
lion.
father's daughter.
Yeah. And so I'm guessing because of all that, she's also a virgin, but like say that part. That's
Implied,
way more
implied.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what's
like, this is my first time.
I never had sex before ever.
But
ever, never, ever.
They don't have sex on their honeymoon because Carmine blows $30,000 at
Boom.
their whole like wedding gift, whatever. He blows it in one night. And
While she's sitting in the room.
in a negligee waiting
Yeah.
for him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And he just like gamble wise
Yeah.
gambles it away.
Yeah.
Gams it away.
Yep. And
Dang.
she's like, get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here, you scumbag.
And then they get in a big old fight.
I don't know what that at
You
the end of that.
scumbag.
Yeah,
fucking rat.
she kicks him out, and the voiceover tells us that don't worry, it wasn't his fault. He was manic depressive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay,
That's when I found out he was manic depressive.
totally what happened.
And then so she goes home.
She goes home. She her mom's like, "What happened?" She's like, "I made a big mistake," but Carmine comes back and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. She's not having it. Instead, she's having morning sickness."
She throws up. But okay, hold on 1 second though. did he really didn't? If he's manic depressive, it's not something he can like totally control,
Right.
And be like, now you're married to me. Now you look at me. I'm manic depressive. I feel like as she was like writing this and telling the story, everyone's like, I have a question. She's like, no questions.
Yeah.
No, it's Lifetime.
There's a little discrepancy with shada. And like no one could, because all this like paints her as so innocent. Where you're like, come the fuck
Oh yeah.
on.
Yeah.
You know they were just doing cocaine at that hotel.
Yeah,
They
right.
just spent $30,000 on
And
cocaine.
this absolutely
Allegedly,
is not
they
the
did
first
cocaine.
time that she's slept away from her parents. Like
No.
that's
And you're
crazy.
you're not lounging around like an innocent little virgin in the hotel room, and he comes back and like, I spent $30,000. You're like, I had no idea. I'm like, you were down there spending some money, bitch.
Be like, no, both of you spent $30,000. Both of you dropped $30,000.
Yes. But basically, she's pregnant now, so she can't divorce Carmine because, that's not how it works in the mob.
Yeah.
You're either in or you're out.
Yeah.
Uno, dos, tres.
As they
Oh
say.
no, Dulcie, Tracy.
Uno, dos, tres.
Mob talk,
Mob
Yeah,
talk.
right that.
But she gets really pregnant, and then she has
Really?
a miscarriage.
Yeah, she's like 9 months and she loses the baby.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's her daughter.
So,
and then we just see like her talking to the dad, and he's like, there's nothing I can do for you here, like, because she's like, fix it, daddy. And he's like, I can't.
Yeah.
And then cut to Victoria Gotti 2019, and she's like,
He couldn't.
well, no, this is when she like actually
He
has
brought my baby back
She
to life.
actually has emotions at this point, and she's like, I
Yes.
celebrate her birthday every year. It's really hard to lose a child. You'll never get over it. Blah blah blah. And she like starts to tear up as much as her tear ducts will allow her to.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh,
Tear
I
ducts
feel bad for her
activated.
in this moment. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it was sad.
It was emotional. And another fun fact, I looked up an article about her making this movie because I had so many questions afterwards.
Yes.
And she didn't want this in the movie.
Really?
Yeah, she was like, I did not want to relive this thing. This was not in there. Maybe it wasn't in the book. I don't know.
Probably
she did
not.
not want it in the movie, and they were like, this is going in the movie.
I mean,
Like,
it
this is
totally
Lifetime.
humanizes her as a person,
Right.
like 2019, and as a character in
Right.
this dumbass
So I'm
movie.
sure it was very hard, but also it made the movie a lot better. She did say she wanted her best friend, I don't know who this person is, maybe this other girl she was hanging out with once at school, dies in a car accident. And she wanted that in the movie, and they cut that and
shit.
replaced it with this.
Yeah, because this is way more Lifetime.
Yeah,
Right?
way more Lifetime.
Yeah.
Way more
yeah.
Lifetime.
But like apparently her friend died in a car wreck after she left her, and she knew it was her because as she ran to the car accident, she saw her dismembered leg in a tree and
Oh
recognized
my
her shoe.
God.
Ew.
Well, see,
That's pretty Lifetime.
save it for
That is
save
pretty
it for the
Lifetime.
movie, like made in 20 years, when everyone realizes that Victoria Gotti's a genius.
Yes.
So we only have 30 minutes left in the movie. Victoria Gotti finally goes blonde. This whole movie, she's been a brunette, Drew.
Yes. Thank goodness.
Which I'm like, thank God. But the wig was terrible. The
It
blonde
was
wig was
bad.
very bad.
Okay.
And Victoria Gotti's pregnant again. Her dad is like getting like very famous as a mob boss. This is when he's like the Don Draper. Don Draper?
No,
What
he's
is it
just
called?
the Don Corleone.
Oh, right.
Oh, Don Corleone.
Yeah, he's not. He's not in advertising.
Dapper Don.
He's less in advertising
Don
and
Draper
more
of
of a
Mafia.
mob guy.
Damn it. No, Dapper Don.
Yeah,
Teflon
they
Don.
call him the Teflon Don because nothing sticks to him. He never gets in trouble.
Yes.
Yeah, he's riding high.
And she keeps having babies. And,
And we
he,
keep not seeing him in the mob.
Yeah, we don't see any mob. She gets a column in a newspaper, which was her dream, okay? And
Yeah,
then
she must be a decent writer, or are people just handing her stuff because
I
she's a
think
Gotti?
she's a good. I mean, well, at this point, I think she's just a good writer.
Okay.
You know, I mean, it's
Yeah.
30 years later or
Right.
whatever. So I
So
think
she
she's
has
a
her
good
3
writer.
sons.
Yes, and her father is on trial again, and she's like, none of the women in my family could ever go to court, but the one time I go to court and bring my dad a lasagna, he
Yeah,
gets
of course.
convicted and found guilty of murder or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Because they don't say. Yeah,
Don't say what he
Guilty of being very nice man.
building jails.
Building. He had to go back and build a jail.
He had to go back to his old job.
Why does this keep happening? I asked myself. Yeah.
But
so he's
she,
convicted.
Yeah, and she lives in like a beautiful house now because they have all the money. Carmine has like a very successful business, but also very shady. He gets put in jail, or he gets in trouble, and they like fight or whatever, and she's like, I'm done with you. Get out of here. And he comes back with a shotgun.
Oh boy.
A shotgun?
Yeah, a shotgun. Yes.
And she's in the bath. She's like lathering up and she has candles and it looks very nice. And he's like, what does he say? Oh, he's like, I'm never going to let you leave me.
And then he's
ever."
like,
and points the gun at her.
Damn.
And she like freaks out.
She
She's
freaks
like,
out.
oh my God.
she's in the damn bathtub. She
Yeah.
ain't going
She's like
anywhere.
hiding, you know? And he's like,
trying to get underwater.
he's like,
more.
Yeah.
it's just a joke. Shut up. What are you worried about? Bye. He
she's
leaves
like,
and she's like, fuck this guy.
Yeah.
What?
Right.
Yeah. So she calls her dad and she's like, I know what I need to do. So this is when we flash back to the beginning of the movie, Drew, which is classic Lifetime thing. They're on the lawn. The FBI are there. Victoria's with her kids. She's like, don't worry. It's going to be okay. The FBI take Carmine away because Victoria informed on him for whatever he did.
She's a rat.
For whatever he did, we don't know. And
For building too many houses.
yeah, now she's raising her kids, maintaining her book column, and she's getting book deals. And she visits her father in jail. He has throat cancer, and he's like, I'm dying. Can you write a book about our relationship? And like, you're my daughter and I'm your father. Could you maybe title it like Victoria Gotti, my father's daughter?
She's like, I was thinking more my daughter's father. I mean
I
my
mean,
father's daughter's
my brother's
mother.
mama. No, wait.
My colon's mother.
Yes, but he dies, of course. That's like his dying wish. He dies, and we see like real footage of the funeral, which actually looked pretty legit crazy.
Yeah, man.
Like very like a royal funeral.
It was, they had like a procession through town. And when they carried the casket, they carried it on their shoulders. Never seen such a thing.
Huh.
Really?
Yeah, they had it like on their shoulders instead of like with their hands. It
Oh.
looked like because their hands were down.
Oh,
It was
wow.
just a big casket.
Yeah, you're right. That is
Whoa,
weird.
weird.
I mean, the caskets have handlebars on them.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, that's what they're there for.
Anyway, so the real Victoria Gotti tells us that she still cries every night and misses
Yes.
her father.
Like, holy shit.
And he died when he was 61.
I still cry every single night, all the time.
It's like, that's not good. You should go to therapy.
Yeah, you need to
Yes.
figure this out, lady.
Yeah. And we got like the title credits where it's like Victoria Gotti divorced her husband in 2004. She was on a reality show for one season on A&E. They
Yeah.
didn't say the one season part, but I'm like, it was for one season. Let's
Yeah.
not forget. And they were like, it pioneered the celebrity, reality. I'm like, have you never seen the Jessica Simpson show with
Yeah.
Nick Lackey?
This was not the first. No, this
No.
is not
The Gottis.
how it all started.
No. Or what is it?
maybe
Growing Up Gotti,
Paris
I think.
Hilton and Nicole Richie
Dude,
on The
Yes.
Simple Life would be the pinnacle of that
No.
starting.
No, sorry.
You know?
Sorry. The God.
It was.
No, that
it
was
was
a-
wrong.
that
It
was
was
a
wrong.
second
Just like
thought.
most of the facts in this movie were probably altered.
Yes, and I gotta say, in Victoria Gotti drag, the lead actress looks like Courtney Love.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Just saying.
cool.
All right.
Just saying. So, on the podcast,
Yes,
we either pour it up or put a cork in it. Casey, what are you gonna do to this movie?
I will tell you what. I would have poured it up if they wouldn't have had the real Victoria Gotti and her stupid face doing the stupid narration to stupid justify all of her stupid lies. So therefore, I'm gonna put a cork in
Okay.
it.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
That's
From
fair.
Chicago. My boss,
From
Casey Altop.
the daughter's mother's Casey Alltop, I say, put a cork in it with the fishes. You're a lion in a cage. Shut up.
And Drew, what about you? What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna pour it up. I'm pouring it up on this one.
Okay, and why?
I think it's because I think it's hilarious. Like I imagine just like so a scene would happen that is like, oh, then she goes into the bed, like goes into the bedroom, and it just cuts there. Be like, so I went into the bedroom. And then it just cuts back
It's
to a
about that
scene.
bad.
So like everything she's doing.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I think it's hilarious.
I answered the phone. And then there's that 2 minutes of silence.
Like, yeah, and I stood there.
I was like,
with the phone in my
Yes.
to my ear. So I don't know. This is hilarious.
Well, yes.
So I'm putting it.
Okay.
I'm pouring it up.
Pour it up.
Wonderful. I am also pouring it up
Oh,
because I don't want to wear smudge shoes. I don't want to sleep with the fishes.
Oh my God, am I going to die?
I don't want to die. So great movie, Victoria. You did it, girl.
I'm pouring it up. I'm pouring it up.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
We're all pouring it up.
We-
We loved it.
we loved it and love you. Yay.
My name is Casey Altout, and I'm pouring.
Right? Yes, we all loved it. Good job, Lifetime. This was so good.
You all passed driver's ed. It's fine.
Yeah, right. That's fine.
Ooh, shoot.
Wait. Oh, wait. Did you say Victoria Gotti's movie? Oh, it was great. Pour it up.
Did
that
you
one.
say Victoria?
Oh, wonderful. Okay, that wraps up our conversation about Victoria Gotti, my father's daughter.
Oh my God.
But before we go, we have our favorite segment of this week and every week. What you say, Candace Cameron Bure. On my wedding day, catch the bouquet. Candace hates the gays. Candace Cameron Bure. Drinking rosé, eating creme brulee. Can't share with me. Candace Cameron Bure. Yeah. What you say, Candace Cameron Bure. Okay, what you say, Candace Cameron Bure, the segment where we watch Candace Cameron's Instagram and we talk about it. Don't follow her. Follow me at Patrick Miguel. Follow the Lifetime app. Or the Lifetime at, what is it? Lifetime on Court. Lifetime on Court. Whatever.
What's the show?
What is this show?
What's this fucking show?
Definitely follow Victoria Gotti. So you want to just do it.
Yeah, follow Victoria Gotti, please, please.
Please.
Please do.
She's great.
All right, we'll play the clip. We'll talk about it. It's a common thing that happens with Candace. We'll talk about it.
Okay, good.
Hi. I feel like I need to clear some things up because some of you think I talk negatively about Vancouver. And I love Vancouver. I just don't like being cold. That's all it is. I love Vancouver. And yes, I'm a Southern California girl born and raised, but I've actually lived in Canada for quite a few years. I lived in Montreal for 3 years when my husband played for the Canadiens. I lived in Calgary for 3 years when he played for the Flames. And I've been working in Vancouver on and off since I was 18 years old. So I know the city pretty well. And also my brother-in-law, Pavel, played for Vancouver. So if you're from here, you know him. So I love Canada. I know cold winters. Trust me, Montreal and Calgary, are you kidding me? So I'm not a newbie to any of this. I just don't like the cold. And when I have to work outside in it, in clothes that aren't winter clothes, because we have to look cute in our movies, it can sometimes be painful.
Okay.
Oh my God. First of all, I think that is what was playing on the phone while Victoria was sitting there in silence for so long.
Yeah, you're right.
It was
It's
something
the
because it was
same
about
length.
that long.
Same length.
Yeah.
So Candace on her Instagram was surprised by snow. She was in LA for an event and then she had to fly back to film her Aurora Tea Garden movies, which you shouldn't watch.
No.
But if you do, let me know. Because I'll judge you.
Because I'll judge you.
But no, so she was like, what is the snow? Oh, I wore the wrong shoes. I hate winter in Toronto or whatever she said. Vancouver. She's like, winter suck. This snow is ridiculous. So then I guess people were like, why are you hating on Vancouver?
Oh my God. Those people need to get a flippin' life.
Yes.
Those people. So first of all, she needs to like chill out on her like back like whatever.
Don't talk to the
gives
trolls.
A shit? Lady, who gives a shit?
You're feeding these little internet trolls.
They
now.
love it.
You're training them to
Yes.
just like anything you say. They're just like, what are you say? You know, you hate Vancouver.
Yes. You're giving them their little troll food.
Fuck all those people
Which looks
more
like hamster
than
nuggets.
Candace. But Candace,
Yes. Also, shut up.
you're the one fucking training these people.
You're instigating it by
Yes.
giving them what they want, which
Yes.
is you responding.
And now they think that you actually have a relationship with them
They're
because you
like,
responded.
she heard my comment about Vancouver. Oh, yes. And it was all me. No, just kidding.
Oh
I
my
never
God,
comment
yes.
on her
You're
shit.
just trolling her. I just was a little side note. I watched the Victoria Gotti movie live. Which, who does that, right? I actually
Sure.
watched it live, so I was indulged with all these commercials.
Oh, boy.
And there was a commercial with Candace Cameron Bure in it where she's sitting there and she's just like staring off into space. And someone's like, Candace, 5 minutes. And she's like, I didn't have time for lunch. and it's a commercial for what's it called? Starfish.
Starkiss?
Yeah, Starkiss tuna.
Yeah.
And it is so bad. Like
It's a tuna commercial.
She's the tuna ambassador.
you've been acting your entire freaking life, and you can't. You're just like, oh, I forgot to eat lunch. Can I say that word? I think I
Yeah.
already have. Fuck
Yeah.
you, Candace Cameron Bray.
Eat a sandwich.
Eat a sandwich, Candace.
Because I've had those Starkiss things. They're not my sponsor. They're not good.
Don't eat tuna on set, you bitch.
Yeah, everyone hates you. That's too smelly. Okay? Eat a nice PB&J. No, don't eat PB&J peanuts.
Take
Peanut
an acting
allergies.
class. That's what you should do. Put all the food down and go take an acting class.
I'll say though, I lived in Canada for a year.
Yeah.
And I lived in Vancouver, and the winter is so fucking
Insanely
terrible.
cold.
And it's not because it's cold. It's because you don't see the sun for 4 months.
yeah, like
no.
It's
Alaska
actually not
style.
that cold. And like it'll snow here and there.
Yeah.
But it's gross snow. It's like not cold snow.
Yeah.
Where it just slushes immediately.
Right.
Yeah.
And you just don't see the sun for 4 fucking months.
That's the problem right there.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
that's
would be horrible.
depressing.
and you don't even know why. You're
Well-
like, why am I depressed? Right? Why
And
do I
we-
feel horrible? And you're,
Yeah.
oh, I haven't seen the fucking
We know
sun.
she's filming 4 movies there for the next few months.
Yeah.
So, she's there
She hasn't
for
seen
the
sun.
worst time of Vancouver. So she's probably right to be like annoyed.
Yeah.
She could go ahead and just not do these movies.
I agree with her on this one.
true.
I actually agree with her on this one.
Well,
and
we know you're a
she's-
Candace supporter. We
I
know
am a
you're.
Candace
We know
supporter.
you hate gays as well. Okay. So Casey,
Yes.
it's now time for pluggy things. Do you have anything you'd like to plug at the pluggy time of the show?
Sure. I also have a podcast on the Universe Said Podcast Network.
Yeah, you do.
It is called Baddest Mothers in the Room. I am a mother along with my co-host Tristan Tanner, and we talk about being moms. We kind of give it like the nice raw take, a lot of swearing, a lot of like all of the shit that really happens,
That's
including
right.
shit.
Yeah.
So you can check us out, Baddest Mothers in the Room. You can follow us on Instagram at Baddest Mothers.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Drew, how about you?
You can follow me at Drew Butt with Pants on Instagram. A lot of my cat. There's a lot of my cat on there. And you check out my band, The Limbos. We're on Spotify and all the places that you can listen.
Did you just have to look at that poster of your band to remember,
to remember
the
the
name?
name of it? Yeah.
It happens. It happens.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, thank you both for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. And thank you, listeners, for checking back in with Lifetime in Court. We watch these movies so you don't have to. But if you do, we'd love to hear from you. Call us at 872-267-4117 and leave a voicemail. Our friend left us a voicemail. I forgot to check it.
yeah.
So we will check it after this and see.
You can leave a message.
Yeah, leave a message. We'll get back to you. We will not answer. And you can follow me at Patrick Miguel or the podcast at Lifetime in Court. Don't forget to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. 1,000 for 2019. We've done 10 in this past month.
Or rate them on
Yeah.
Stitcher. I rated you on Stitcher. if you're
Oh,
Stitcher.
yeah, Stitcher. That's nice.
Yeah, Stitcher's
Yeah,
got
do
it.
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Combine.
That's it. All right. Bye.